April 4th, 2019. The International Data Corporation publishes a report which estimates that by the year 2022, over $270 billion will be spent annually on a new form of prophecy. It's called predictive analytics. Only this time, the profits will be made of ones and zeros instead of flesh and blood.
Predictive analytics is a fancy way of saying, look at the data and figure out why things happen. Very important. Banks, corporations, computer companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars sifting through tons of data trying to find instances of causality. If I raise the price of a product, does my profit margin go down? Will I go bankrupt? In other words, corporations constantly try to predict the future. That's the name of the game. You predict it wrong, you zag when you should zig, you go bankrupt.
I think predictive analytics operate very similarly to how our brains work. Our minds come equipped to make predictions about the future based on our past experiences, and they operate very similarly. In fact, machine learning algorithms, the type that carry out predictive analytics, are often called neural network models because they're designed to mimic how neurons work in our brains.
The idea of advanced computers pulling information from the cloud in order to predict the future may sound like science fiction, but in truth, this idea has been around for thousands of years.
Every culture in history has had some concept of a universal mind. The Greeks used to call it nous, or a great overmind. In Vedic tradition, it's sometimes called akasha, or a kind of universal ether.
People like Nostradamus and any seer will tune into what we call the Akashic record. This is like the memory of all things. It's a universal mind. We enter it by going into a state of meditation and connecting with the past, the present, and the future.
One of the great secrets of the mystical tradition is that all human souls are one. So we are part of a collective whole. In later psychology, it has been understood to be called a collective unconscious. In ancient times, it was referred to as a collective soul, which is the collective mind of all humanity, past, present, future.
I think the people who work in this way, what they're doing is they're tapping into some source of information. I don't think the question is, why are we able to get information about the future? I think the question is more like, why don't we get more information about the future?
Is there really a universal, all-knowing source of information that we can tap into for insights about the future? It's an intriguing prospect, and if true, hey, it would validate the many prophecies and premonitions that have been recorded throughout history. Perhaps technology will one day allow us to prove that these mysterious visions were authentic glimpses of the future, but until then, they will remain unexplained.